It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Tring. This is your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso. And we're live on 3. Now, you can give us a call on 0839133728 if you want to give Zola a call with your cooking conundrum. This is our culinary hotline. Hey, Zola. Before the break, we had some amazing advice. Don't use cold oil when you try and make something because it just absorbs. I actually didn't know it does that.
No, it does, absolutely. The oil's got to be at frying temperature for you to be able to fry.
And what is frying temperature?
It depends on what you're frying. So for things like chicken or fish, 160 degrees is pretty good. But for things like vegetables, you want to go a little higher, maybe 170 degrees.
Okay, and you test that oil before. Now, on Facebook and Twitter, you can also engage with us at Expresso Show on Twitter and also hashtag Ask Expresso. If you have a question to Zola. Our third question is from Christo Potgieter. He says, why does my rice always come out hard?
Okay. So the one problem that comes to me very obviously is that you're undercooking your rice. So just taste it before you turn it off and think that it's cooked. So just take a bit of the rice and just taste it. And if it's too hard for you to eat, then it's too underdone, basically.
I want to add to Christy here. I heard about oil in water when you make rice, right? But the one time I remember I poured the oil on after I made it, Zola, and then it was just too crazy for words.
Yeah, was it just an oily mess, I assume?
Yeah, but it came out hard, so don't try that at home.
Yeah, just make sure you cook it for long enough. Yeah, because you want your rice to be fluffy. If it's not fluffy and, like spongy and not like the hard rice that you started off with, then you haven't cooked it for long enough.
0839133728. Jenny is on the line. Jenny, good morning. You're live on Expresso. What's your question?
Morning.
Yes, good morning to you.
Hi.
Zola, if you can please tell us, when we make cornbread, why does it always crack on the top?
Okay. Thank you, Jenny.
Thank you, Jenny. Okay, so why bread cracks on the top is often because it's got a lot of raising agent and it sort of speedily rises in the oven, so the heat penetrates it and it sort of bubbles up, and then the expanded flour has to go somewhere and it cracks. That's not a bad thing for something like cornbread. What you don't want that to happen is with cakes that you're sort of sandwiching. So with cornbread, it's actually like one of the endearing factors about cornbread. You know how sometimes with bread, you slash it so that it does crack? It's exactly the same thing. So cornbread does do that because you add a lot of bicarb, a lot of baking powder, because, the corn flour that you use or the polenta or whatever, or the corn kernels themselves are very heavy. So you need a lot of leavening agent to sort of make sure that the bread actually springs up and rises.
How do you prevent it in a cake?
In a cake?
Yes.
Make sure that the temperature is correct, first of all. So cook the cake very slowly. Also, don't open the oven, because sometimes when you open the oven, it sinks and then it cracks. So don't do that. Don't be like Ilana, who's very excited and opens the oven. Yeah, also don't overmix anything ever, because that also will cause things to crack on the top.
Okay, well, Zola is the best chef in the country, and we also have the best food truck in the world on the show. Graham, what you got?